Hello there everyone, and welcome back. We sadly missed a week there of more Battlefleet Gothic, but there is still much more to be had. It's one of the main benefits of having 12 different factions, I suppose. I don't really get bored of this game really easily, at least as far as diversity of different options that are available to me. It's another matter entirely if we can get a nice diversity of opponents, since I've had some problems with that, as I hinted at before when I was playing with Imperial Navies or just the loyalist factions, I suppose. But now let's mix things up. I am going to play with Imperial Navy. No, let's not kid yourselves further. Our admiral does not have leprosy. We are playing with the Blood Axe Orks. What is it? The Blood Axe Orks. I apologize. And for some reason, there's something I really enjoy on just the aspect of having these ships with Shroud. It adds an additional dimension, possibly, to the Orks that are all about just rushing down your opponent, or in some situations, with the sheer durability they have, just sitting on points and winning through the objective game. That is actually possible with Orks to an extent. Although what's weird here, I guess, is I am going to be going with a lot of light cruisers, and originally I did have a bunch of cruisers to kind of add a little more durability, as I hinted at, but with the fact that they have triple the critical hit chance, I believe, at least to lose their weapons and components, it seems a little bit better to kind of spread it out, since I don't think the resilience that a cruiser has to offer is really going to make that much of a difference, if I were to be honest. And on the plus side, it gives me more mega cannons as well, and a couple more frigates, I believe, as another bonus. The only oddball here of note is the 2 rocks. It's not 1 rock, which I kind of believe almost all Orc fleets should try to consider at least 1 rock. I am fielding 2 of these. And I will be honest, this may be a bit more questionable, but their immunity to critical hits is useful. They serve as really good bait, I want to feel like anyway. And of course, they just have the resilience to just take those hits while the rest of my fleet gets set up. And if I don't get them killed for nothing, then it might put me off on a really good positional advantage. Especially when you consider a tractor cannon, maybe a stasis bomb to keep my opponent from running away. Although, it feels like it's been forever since I even played with this fleet, since I kind of started implementing a strategy with factions that have torpedoes on just blindly firing across the map to pinpoint where the stealth ships are. And I feel like if that's used against me, that greatly hinders the potential of the commandos. Since Tyranids, Drukhari, Eldari, they have such an easy time repositioning, even if I know where they're at. Orks, their big red button will still reveal them, so they have to slowly turn and reposition, which greatly hinders their ability to throw off an opponent that does that. Although I haven't played enough stealth opponents, or I haven't played with enough stealth fleets, I mean, to really know how to deal with that. In all honesty, I don't think I played against a single opponent that even utilizes that strategy. So, in theory, this may not be as effective as I once thought of it, so let's get this going. Ooh, Chaos. Chaos could suck a little bit here, just because of their absurd range potential, if they spot me early. Since again, I talked about how easy it is to get critical hits on my cruisers, so even a light cruiser or a couple of lances hitting me periodically is sure to wreck my guns quickly, or if not my deck outright. Which really, I think I'm more afraid of my guns getting destroyed, since I think I'm going to be utilizing the Wog Song to at least help deal with the morale damage. Alright, I'm still optimistic that there's work being done, at least for some kind of like Armada 3. I feel like anyway, just because this is currently their most successful game for Tindalos. So, unless there's no longer an agreement to use the Battlefleet Gothic license, you would figure they're at least still trying to work on this game. But how do I want to deploy? Well, it's kind of a given how I want to deploy. I want the rocks to serve as bait. The frigates are a bit slow at grabbing points, but it's not a terrible idea to have the frigates grab them as well. Since I think, actually, yeah, let me have the frigates grab this and then use this rock to push through to the middle. It's going to take a little bit of figuring out. It's been forever since I used this fleet. I don't know how long exactly, but it feels like forever.
Here we go.
Now, especially since I have wrong fleet apparently too, or I've got my hotkeys wrong. There we go. So we're dealing with 5 ships. This could very easily be 5 Acrons. 5 Acrons, 5 Grand Cruisers, it could be anything. I'm honestly a little more afraid of the Acrons just because, again, the range potential. Since you never know when a frigate could just preemptively reveal me, just completely at random. And there's not much I could do about it. That strikes me as battle cruisers of sorts. Could be Grand Cruisers still. And I'm just hanging these cruisers back just so ideally they don't get revealed. It's really tempting to just rush forward, but again, if these are Acrons, there's at least 2, maybe 3 frigates available to them, and again, the randomness of them just revealing my ships could be devastating. Especially when we know where one of them is currently. At the same time, I don't know if my opponent's even prepared to deal with a stealth-oriented Orc fleet, so that's probably the only advantage I have going on in this match. So the element of surprise is definitely key. Although with that said, I really should have spread out these cruisers, since that makes it a little bit hard to ambush. I almost wonder if I want to engage these with my frigates. They're going to die really quickly due to just how easily they're going to burn.
Orks is best.
Yeah.
You got it, boss.
Actually, let me just boost in there. Use the gas cloud for my advantage. Because they burnt 2 already. 2 scanner pulses, I mean to say, so... And I would like to hide these frigates in here as well. Now, if only I knew which one's scanner pulse, that would be nice. Okay, you're hitting. You took a lot of damage, but you're hitting at least. And the one thing I like most about the rocks, even though I can't chase them the best, they easily can turn around in the case of torpedoes and are obstructive weapons. So let's try and deal with these. Have these ships just try and ambush the right fleet. This might... Oh. I would like to neutralize this point at least. Actually, let's just boost forward. At least it'll draw a little bit of fire. My fleet's going to take a little bit of time, but again, this is why I really enjoy the rocks. It just may not be a good matchup for me in theory. And I did prioritize engines, did I? If I can destroy frigates, that helps a ton with my potential, though. Ooh, Slanesh. I might as well just grab this point. Kill this. They did reveal the fleet, alas, but... I would have liked to kill that frigate, but... we still kind of can.
You have seized a strategic
Just take the hits as gracefully as possible. Killing the frigate's probably not going to pay off, but... Alright. Actually, let's have this rock take point. Continue damaging that because it's now on fire. And they're completely ignoring these cruisers, which I'm fine with. I'm just not going to have much luck grabbing this rock, or this frigate here, but you're on all sorts of fire, which is good by me. You're going to hide yourself in a moment. Once I tell you to actually move, that's the only catch there.
We won.
And that forces you off the point.
Faster, you grunts.
Just get yourself hit then, ideally. Only mistake I did up here was having to burn both the frigate's scanner pulses.
Move that junk.
And again, just figuring out where those are so I can punish them is a big deal.
Hit a rat barn.
The enemy has accumulated 25%.
Alright, reveal this frigate for me.
Orks, orks, orks.
Oh, I didn't realize the cruisers didn't get revealed. That's the entire reason why it boosts there. If I were to be honest. Now, I would like a capital ship.
You got it, boss.
And that was a big mistake there, because that may have just cost me a match.
Grunts.
Just because of the amount of free shots my opponent's about to have.
You got it. Here we go.
Frigates are dying at least.
Orks is
You could just go grab a point. I think what I need to do is just turn around and use the gas cloud to conceal myself.
Orks, orks, orks.
Did I kill the frigate? Well, shooting, that's all I could tell you. I am basically committing one of my ships to dying a miserable death, but I don't really have a lot of alternative, really. I just wish I had not boosted with everything, because these two are going to get out of the gas cloud.
You orders over there.
It at least conceals the two that are crippled, or at least likely to take damage.
Move that junk. Orks, orks, orks.
I wish I had boarded the frigate if I were to be so honest, but we could still do damage to it, maybe cripple it and force it to break. I now have a fire assault. I probably should have just done a rally, or encouraging speech, but
You orders over there.
alright.
Taking damage, boss.
So we're at the very least we're gonna have 4 points. I just lost all my own frigates as a downside to this.
Taking damage,
But you can
boss.
easily take those 2 points up top.
Here we go.
The score is currently a little bit even.
Boom.
Oh, they're about to die, so there goes another 180-ish points there, but
We's ready.
so just grab this point. Actually, you could just conceal yourself now.
Boss, we got
And they
him.
sadly still do have frigates. So
You have seized a
scanner
strategic
pulses are
area.
gonna really mess me up.
Faster, you
Since I
grunts.
failed to prioritize on the frigate like I wanted. I probably should have boarded and
The enemy
almost
is
guarantee a
seizing
kill
one
on
of
that
your
thing.
strategic areas.
You got
But at
it,
least I
boss.
could get these points up top. The best thing I
The
could
enemy
probably
has
do is
seized a
just...
strategic area.
Oh, that was a mistake. May not have gone noticed. But that's a lot of the reason why you hold fire.
The enemy has
And I am
accumulated
probably going to get
50%
scanner
of
pulsed as
strategic
soon as
points.
I get close to the objective.
You got it.
Actually, let me just plan for where they're going, and
Orks, orks.
I just can't boost right away because of the possibility of a stasis bomb. Although, flagship's right there, I'm actually okay in that regard.
Hit a rat barn. Mordecai. You got it, boss. You orders over there.
You have accumulated 50% of strategic
I boarded
points.
that, so maybe I could kill his engines off. And hopefully get hits on the R1.
Wrecked it.
The enemy is seizing one of your strategic areas.
We'll know in a moment. I got a good opportunity here, though. I think they still have plenty more boosters, though, with that said.
I can't, boss. Oi, just stick your hose in it.
Alright, engine's gone on 2 of them, but easy repairs can fix that.
Boss, we gotta go.
And I have 30 seconds of morale immunity.
Let's show 'em.
Now let's kill 2 of these ships off quickly.
Seized a strategic area.
I would have liked you to grab the point. I thought I told you to, but... Now I'm just wondering, who do I pull with my tracked cannon? Just honestly, probably the one there that we're gonna board pretty soon. Because we're gonna get 2 ships here. Let's turn these, grab the points, kill these off. And I was hoping to board the 3rd ship, but it's not likely to happen. And the deck just got destroyed.
We'll fight another day. Faster, you grots.
And I have 30 seconds till my rally.
Orks, orks, orks. Orks,
So let's try and scare them off.
the fight is over
Well,
here.
my rally hopefully does what it needs to.
Holding is what orks do best.
Now, can I at least evade
Boss,
the objective? That's what I would like most. 8 seconds till the rally. I was hoping to potentially kill this, but the crew's about to fall apart too.
you go in, boss.
Alright, so just getting the gas cloud.
Here we go.
Probably can't do much to you because I burnt all my boosters, sadly.
Orks, orks, orks.
Now just getting the gas cloud.
Supposed to burn. Fix it.
Mitigate the damage.
The fight is over here.
Oh, something broke. What was it?
Move that junk. Locked on, boss.
You have seized a strategic area.
Alright, Rock.
The enemy is seizing
I wish
one
you
of
were
your
here to help a bit
strategic
more, but
areas.
I still have a nice healthy lead at the moment.
Grots.
The enemy is seizing one of your strategic areas.
Now, I want to board you, but I think boarding the frigate's much better.
Move that junk.
I'm just not going to get my concealment, mainly because of the mark.
What you want? Faster, you
I'm really tempted to just try and rush them down, but the engine's currently disabled.
You go in, boss.
Now come play with my little friends. We got mega cans for you. Just gotta make sure flagship survives, and sure, I may have 50 armor on the prow, but their lances are a lot more mitigated at least. Can we at least kill this one ship off?
Orks is best.
How's our score? Well,
You want us over
if I can get this thing hit in a gas cloud or something, I might be okay.
Here we go.
You have seized a strategic area.
Engines are finally disabled, so actually let me just kill that off to maybe guarantee a win. Perfect time for the rally to come back up. If that was any earlier, that would have sucked. Alright, so he's trying to commit to the kill.
Victory by strategic points.
I'm hoping I could still win this just by killing off this one ship.
Hit the red button.
Because thankfully,
That junk.
it survived, if only just barely.
You go in.
Can I at least board this one? Alright, encouraging speech is enacted, so I win.
We stop the enemy ship.
Well, I don't know how I
What's
feel.
the good, boss?
I don't know how I feel about that match, if I were honest.
Holding is what
Not in,
orks do
more
best.
for my playstyle, how I should have improved on that. Sure, the one big obvious one I pointed out was sinking my fleet was revealed by the one scanner pulse that prompted me to boost when I probably didn't need to. That would have avoided so much more damage and at least put me in a much more comfortable spot. But still, sure, Chaos can run away from me all day. I probably could run them down with good use of the tractor cam, but at the end of the day, just being able to grab the objectives is what secured that victory, I feel like. Since I was basically at the point where I probably would have just fell apart. Since I was down to 1 crippled rock and 3 light cruisers, which are very easy to disable. So I don't think if that dragged on that would have gone well for me. Alright, more chaos. To my misfortune, I guess. Since we already seen a lot of what needed to be seen with chaos, unless they decided to go with a completely different type of strategy. I can't remember who Stoyak is. I think I encountered him before. I just, for the life of me, cannot remember when. For all we know, it could have been my last opponent, since this has been about half an hour since my first match. Since I try and spread it a little bit to at least avoid having the same opponent, if at all possible. But either way, it's Chaos, it's Nurgle at that, so they could do a lot of damage in close. Since you don't really use the Nurgle cloud effect to kind of repair your ships. You use it to do damage ideally. But the same mindset, the same strategy is going to be as before. I think I'm going to do something different. I'm going to have both these rocks here. Actually, I think what I'm going to do is have one of the rocks go through the middle. It seems much more advantageous for me, if I were to be honest. And then just have one frigate grab that point for me. We just need to reorganize this fleet. Do I keep them grouped up, though? Only thing I'm not sure about. I don't think I do, for the moment. But it is important to have some of them maybe go rightward a little bit, for when my opponent decides to circle around me and evade. Actually...
The fight is over here!
Oh. Well, you don't have to worry so much about that. It's a different opponent, if you've been facing off against a lot of the Asian players, or at least Asian-based players. Either way, let's grab this point quickly. I probably should have... Yeah, honestly, I should have just a frigate grab this point. Alright. Either way, let's take advantage of this frigate being here.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
And so that way I don't have to spread, although, or at least I don't have to keep my rocks hanging back, because they are supposed to be drawing fire and just tying up my opponent as much as possible. It's still a question what the fleet is. We have a frigate on the right, 4 ships here, so... Actually, how quickly is this grabbing? Just a single frigate. I was wondering if there's like a handful of them there or not. And yeah, that one cruiser is definitely... the rock being on this point definitely shows how much more faster it can grab that objective. Jeez. We basically grabbed that in record time as far as the frigate's concerned. And I wonder if I want these frigates to go up here. And just have these hang back. I just don't want them to get carelessly revealed, ideally. It's going to be tricky to ambush them, though, if I'm hanging back so far, though. But hopefully it burns some of their resources.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
Because there's no beacon. Not yet.
Move that junk.
I want to at least grab this to force some kind of a beacon pulse, because we know there's a frigate somewhere.
Faster, you grots.
And that revealed at least 2 frigates.
Strategic area.
Sadly, I don't get to kill them, but it kills off a portion of their crew.
We stopped the enemy ship.
Alright, third air crew is gone. No crit. I don't have to worry about them suffering so much, but we at least get to see what we're up against. That is valuable for me. And as soon as I'm in the gas cloud, oh, never mind. I'm gonna take a. I should have probably boosted earlier. Oh, so they're all carrier base, which is gonna be annoying.
The fight is over here.
That's the one thing that could do a lot of damage to this ship, but
You orders over
once they're
there.
gone, I could conceal and mitigate this pretty well.
Retro's on.
Since that's still only, what, a third of its health? I don't know why I'm really concerned.
You got it, boss.
Now get these two frigates hiding.
Faster, you grots.
Now this is going to be... Actually, I don't even need to engage them. If I'm honest, let me try and kill off these frigates.
Here we go.
If I could kill the frigates, it helps a lot.
The fight is over here.
Although I'm not going to be able to get to now.
What you want? Orks, orks, orks.
I would love to be able to just kill off some of these bomber charges. Probably not going to work out to my liking.
You got it. Move that junk.
But you scanner pulse, everything else is going to conceal self momentarily. And then you'll be forced to hopefully chase after this.
Retro's on.
Just gotta wait for the fire to get concealed, so that way maybe I can have some good luck here.
What you want?
At least engage in them.
Move that junk. We's ready. Enemy ship sighted.
And now guess what's happening?
Faster, you grots.
They're flying to my waiting arms, although
Time to stop them.
we gotta be careful
Orks is best.
of what happens here still.
You got it, boss. Enemy ship sighted.
Just do what damage you can, ideally board one. I want to board the flagship if I were to be honest, but I don't think that's gonna happen very well.
Hold on to something.
And just mitigate a lot of their damage, if possible.
Boss, we gotta go. Move that junk.
Alright, I want to board the flagship ideally.
You want us over there?
I am going to take a lot of damage though.
Boarding point.
And they just helped me some.
Here we go.
Brace for impact probably was not needed in this exchange, but
Come, boss.
kill the ships off.
Retro's on.
And do a better job controlling my fleet with that said.
We's ready. Our escort went boom.
You have accumulated
Just ram me charge, just make this quick and painful.
Orks is best.
Although the boarding on the flagship was not really needed if it's about to die. Although we're not out of the woods yet.
Hold in is what Orks do best. You got it.
Just ram this, kill the flagship, and then they're gonna break as well.
Faster, you grots.
I'm hoping. I didn't kill the deck on the one Grand Cruiser, but with how close it is to dying, never mind my point lead,
Yeah.
You
I
have
think we're okay
accumulated
regardless.
50% of strategic points.
Here we go.
Now just finish them off. Yeah, that was a little careless. It almost worked, I won't lie. Since morale could have probably very easily broke me if it wasn't for that Wog song. That's the really tricky thing about
You won.
such an aggressive play. One simple action or ability like Wog Song, just not having that probably would have meant an embarrassing defeat for me. Since there isn't really a whole lot I could do about that battleship and its Nurgle cloud, since my tractor cannon doesn't really push them away the best. But it was a different type of match, I suppose. That's all I can really say. Oh, this is going to be an interesting match. Stealth versus stealth shenanigans. Although, if I can get them close, I can do an absurd amount of damage really quickly with my mega cannons. Although, in all honesty, it's not damage I need. It's the critical hits and crippling their engines ideally is what I really need. If I can start pinning them down and forcing an engagement, then that helps me a lot. I don't know how likely that is though. Although, at least 2 of us can play as stealth shenanigans, and I have 2 rocks to maybe be a real annoyance. Although, with their boarding potential, they are likely to kill off my rocks really quickly, and then suddenly those things can be a liability for me. I think they're more expensive than my battlecruiser right now at, I think, 188 points. So I'm wondering how to best do this. Especially with the objective layout too. It's not like I can very easily just spread out and grab points. Plasma bomb's not likely. Beacon can be useful for area denial. I just have to be smart with how I use it. And boarding, my boarding's still good. Is it good enough though to justify a shock attack gun? Because without a doubt, I wanted the tractor cannon to at least counteract their Wraithbone shift. That's the most important factor to that. Since it takes like about 2-3 seconds for it to channel, if I'm fast enough, then that completely nullifies a Wraithbone shift. And that might seal the deal and at least gain a kill. Although, I don't want frigates to try and grab points, ideally. In fact, I probably want... No, I don't want all the frigates together either. I just don't know what purpose the frigates are going to serve here. It's going to be tricky. And actually, I want the battlecruiser to kind of... I want to bait them. I don't know how exactly I'm going to bait them, but I want to bait them. I don't know what my plan is. If I'm going to use a beacon, I want at least... Oh, just hold on to that. I just don't want to give away where my ship is. That may be completely pointless, but let me get the critical prioritized components quickly.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
Alright, beacons launched there. They will be convinced that that is the flagship once it grabs the point. I suspect that might be the case, but we know there's a battleship there, and one of the ships over here is a capitalist ship as well.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
Wings ready.
So this is going to be tricky.
Faster, you grots. You got it.
But at least that beacon will provide a little bit of protection,
Orks.
if only slightly. It seems like a very weird placement, but I do want that to kind of force something.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
You got it.
Now let's actually burn retros here, have you grab the point.
Yeah.
And I don't know what else to really think. All I can really hope for is they recklessly fly into me. Kind of like what's happening here.
Retro's on. Orks is best. The fight is over here.
Because
You have seized a
due to the
strategic
objective
area.
layout, I kind of can't stay balled up. But at the same time, I need to protect my ships.
Wings ready.
Because Drukhari are strongest when they are able to separate me.
Yeah.
Sadly, they revealed my ships there, but
Orks is best. Orks, Orks.
and they even got the flagship too, so that's unfortunate.
Orks, Orks, Orks.
Alright, I have fighters in at least 4 of these impalers.
You orders over there?
Alright. Let's try and force some damage here. Probably not as much as I want, but...
What do you want? Here we go. Full speed. Taking damage, boss.
And sadly, I was not close enough for a tracked cannon, but... Let's watch for this thing boosting.
Wait, the ship's got holes in it.
That is what I was waiting for.
I can't fuss. The fight is over here.
Alright, let's make this ship pay quite immensely.
You got it.
I probably, again, it's the critical hits I need and not so much the damage. That's the problem here.
Smashed up on the enemy ship. You got it.
And there they are immediately boosting away, so...
You want us over there?
And I don't want the group orders.
Yeah.
Oh, we actually got engine critical hits somehow on the flagship. Again, I don't want this group order. Oh, that's because the Rock's doing the group order, okay.
25% of strategic points.
Now I'm waiting for the repair and forcing this thing to disengage.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm waiting for. If we could kill the flagship, that's amazing, though. I'm waiting again for the repair.
Waist ready. Here we go.
Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! I was waiting for that too.
Orks is best.
That is unfortunate, but we do have fighters.
Begin Daka. Orks is best. Faster, you grunts.
Alright. We're getting that objective, but
Waist ready.
too little too late sadly now.
The fight is over here. Yeah. What do you want? Orks, Orks, Orks.
Alright. Yeah, too little too late. If only I got to that tractor can sooner, dang it.
He's ready. Orks, Orks, Orks.
There's one problem with your theory. These things have incredible resilience.
You got it. You orders over there.
I still have rocks, which doesn't mean a whole lot just at the moment.
The fight is over here.
That could have sealed the deal right there for me, sadly. And you have torpedoes, but I'm thankfully a little too close now.
Hold it is
Nope, you missed the torpedoes. Although that doesn't really do me a lot of good now, does it?
what you want.
Can we at least shoot down these torpedoes at a good rate?
Waist ready.
Because rocks are going to be hitting.
Here we go.
My ships are concealed.
What you want?
And I still have durability, although
You got it.
I heard torpedoes were... Oh, I didn't even see the torpedoes. That's a shame.
Orks is best. You want us over there?
Let's at least grab the points. And that denied the boarding, if nothing else.
You got it, boss. Orks is best.
The enemy is seizing one of your strategic areas.
We're not out of it yet, but My frigate, of course, is completely visible, so that doesn't help a whole lot.
Orks. What you want? Load that junk.
So I'm wondering how I spread up my fleet to account for this.
Ready.
Although, let me just deny them some predictable mobility, I guess.
Orks, orks.
Probably all I can really ask for.
Enemy ship sighted. Wings ready.
You have seized a strategic area.
Blast to your grunts.
Alright. You made a serious mistake there. That's one down.
Fast to your grunts.
That should be one down pretty quickly.
Yeah.
The enemy is seizing one of your strategic
And that
areas.
helps a lot. I just gotta conceal my ships, which is gonna be a bit problematic.
The enemy has seized a
Wreckage just
strategic
blocked the
area.
shot.
Here we go.
That is unfortunate.
You got it, boss.
Alright, just finish him off.
That's not supposed to burn. Fix it. Orks is best. The fight is over here.
Okay, so he runs off.
You got it. You want us over there?
We'll keep you there.
Wings ready.
Hide in the gas cloud, conceal yourselves, and we'll just grab these points and try.
You
Actually,
have seized a strategic area.
I want my rock to just grab the middle point, honestly.
You got it.
I really want to grab that bottom one, especially since we're know where one is. It's just gonna take a lot of time, is the problem.
Fast to your grunts. Move that junk.
And sadly, that fire is gonna force a mutiny on you, which will probably prompt more fire assaults as a
You got it, boss. Orks is best.
The enemy is seizing one of your strategic areas.
Ah, dang it. I was really hoping to grab them with the tractor cannon, but...
You got it. Here we go.
And now my mega cannon is completely burnt,
Wings ready.
although...
Fast to your grunts.
I really wanted those tractor cannons. If I had gotten that one earlier, that would have probably made a difference.
What you want? Retro's on.
I don't have a
The
frigate.
strategic area.
Wings ready. Move that junk. What you want?
Just try and damage this thing right now.
Got it, boss. Ready for a strike. Work, boss.
Because if I can get an engine critical hit, that helps.
You got it, boss. The fight is over here. Retro's on.
Alright.
You want us over there? You got it.
I don't know what I'm going to get to do with this cruiser anymore, but...
You got it. Yeah.
The enemy has accumulated 75% of strategic points. You have accumulated 50%.
Force them to disengage is really all I can do. I have just as much range as them.
You ain't the boss of
So they can't engage me. Actually, let's see. Can I rally? I did rally it, but it probably doesn't do me a whole lot of good.
Orks is best.
I'm probably just going to lose because of the objective. Missing that tractor cannon was a big deal. Because otherwise that probably would have killed the flagship right there. Actually,
You want us over there?
only option I have left is to try and grab these last few points, which... Dang it, and that's also broke, so
What you
can't...
want?
Yeah,
Got it, boss.
just that one little lack of a tractor cannon there just screwed me over.
Your strategic areas.
Full speed.
Definitely unfortunate. That could have done so much for me there.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
Because now I'm just going to lose based by the objectives, I think, although... Can I at least kill enough of their boarding parties? I'm waiting for these... I'm waiting for them to actually do a little bit more, dang it.
We'll fight another day.
Yeah, sadly this is over. Once I get on top of them, I do good damage, but again, it's the engines I need to kill, and I had such a good opportunity to kill this flagship earlier with that engine critical hit. Just not being fast enough as soon as they boost it. And again, even when I succeeded, I still need to be able to get an engine critical hit to seal the deal. It's not as convenient that way. Oh my, I'm bitter about that. Because maybe if I burnt my tractor can earlier, would that have made the difference? Even when the engines was temporarily down? Because that would have led to 2 battleships being destroyed, and then I could have aggressively pushed forward. It's unfortunate.